Szanowni Państwo.
Ladies and gentlemen, I warmly welcome all of you to this event due to the 20th anniversary of the European Network of European Network Remembrance and Solidarity. We have representatives of the current member states and future member states, ministers, vice ministers, deputy ministers of culture of Poland, Hungary, Romania, Ukraine, Madam Ambassador of Georgia and Slovak, Ambassador and other members of the diplomatic corpus and the members of the steering committee of the network. I would especially like to emphasize, I believe that's the right moment, I would especially like to emphasize the presence of the 4 Polish ministers of culture. That is a rare situation that the 4 of you is here in one place. We have Hanna Wróblewska, the Minister of Culture, current Minister of Culture and National Heritage. Mr. Deputy Prime Minister, Mr. Professor Piotr Gliński, Professor Kazimierz Michał Ujazdowski, and Mr. Waldemar Dąbrowski, Minister of Culture and National Heritage. I want to say that without your decisions, without your support for the network on many different stages of its development, this initiative would not be possible, would not have been possible. Other than that, we have directors of public and non-public state, government and non-government culture institutions that work on making sure that we all talk about history, that we all talk about remembrance, solidarity, and identity. We have the heads of the Ministry of Culture and the National Heritage of both Poland and Germany. We have the advisors to the science councils. We have employees of the Secretary of the European Network Remembrance and Solidarity, the former ones and current ones. We have interns from many countries in Europe. I'm telling you all of that because they have been with us for 3-4 months and yet they've decided to join us today and spend this evening with us. And I thank them for that very much. And we have other distinguished guests who do not belong to any of the groups that I've just named, but a very warm welcome to all of you. I'm very pleased, ladies and gentlemen, that you have decided to join us for today's evening. The plan of today's evening is as follows. At first, we are going to listen to our distinguished guests' speeches, and I am going to try before and in between the speeches to provide you with some information on the history of the European network. And we will also have photos from many different events around the network. I believe you can find yourselves on those photos, sometimes from many years back. Then we're going to have a short lecture of the British writer and historian Keith Lowe, and then Madam Minister will award a few employees of our secretariat, and then we're going to have a wonderful piano concert by Maestro Waldemar Malicki with some surprises, especially one. And then we're going to have a reception with some surprises as well. I can tell you about at least 4 of them. These are going to be toasts given by people that have been there with us for many years, who developed and supported the growth of the network. And today they will share their memories with us. And I hope that you will also enjoy your dinner. And let's start with a short history. The network started out of conflict. The conflict that was with the background of the remembrance of the Second World War and its consequences started at the beginning of the 21st century. And that conflict has been going on here in the Central Europe and was mainly about Germany, Poland, and some other neighboring countries. It was started by the plans to commemorate German victims of the Second World War due to displacements of the former terrains of Germany in Poland in the east. And I'm telling it all because that was quite difficult moment for all of us, for all of us who were working for the reconciliation between Germany and Poland, and we suddenly saw something that was not that visible, that the distance was far greater between us, and only certain groups between us understand and know about each other. But on the whole, we're lacking this reconciliation. So one of the elements of the discussions of that conflict was the need to found an institution who would support the dialogue on the Second World War beyond any division, that will help Europeans learn more about them and to diminish the differences between the Europeans that are in fact there. That was the time when Waldemar Dąbrowski was the Minister of Culture, and he was one of the initiators of negotiations, international negotiations between Poland, Germany, Hungary, Slovakia, Czech, and Austria, in order to attempt and have something positive out of those years-long discussions. As an effect, was a declaration signed on the establishment of the European Remembrance and Solidarity Network, and that happened on the 2nd of February 2005 here in this building, but in another room. And actually, originally, we planned to have this meeting in that room, but since so many of you decided to join us, luckily, so we've decided to move after all, with the acceptance of the Minister of Culture and the former Minister of Culture, Ms. Professor Omilanowska, who today is the director of that venue, and she approved the meeting, us meeting here in this room. The main negotiator from the Polish side was Mr. Andrzej Przewoźnik, and it will be that name will be repeated today several times still, and he is the one that negotiated such a wonderful agreement that is basis for our operations until today. The first few years, up until 2010, that was the time to polish things, to try to find some ways to set up a secretariat here in Warsaw. And in February 2010, at the end, really, of 2009, Mr. Tomasz Merka, the second very important name for the beginnings of our network, and Mr. Przewoźnik decided to come back with the idea, and they set up the secretariat of the network with the approval of the Ministry of Culture. I have to say that it's especially important for us that I can even see from here Madame Jolanta Przewoźnik, the wife of Minister Przewoźnik, a widow, because, as I haven't said, both former ministers, 10 days after the secretariat was set up, died tragically in the Smolensk catastrophe with other key officials of the country. This tragic event in Smolensk was an additional reason for us to find some solution for this institution that was just a tiny element of their huge heritage. So to make it work, to make it real, and to have the function as they wished it to. Polish coordinator became Professor Jan Rydel from Polish side, and we used back then the support of the Center of Culture and the huge support of the at the time director, Mr. Krzysztof Dutek. That's an obvious surname. Maybe now you can hear me better. And we've employed first employees, Jan Kaczorowski, and the representative of Germany, and Agnieszka Olczak. I am naming those people at the beginning on purpose because they made an amazing contribution to the fact that the network was set up and grew. And I'm going to pause this history, and I will ask Minister Wróblewska to deliver her speech. Thank you so much for being with us today.